hold something for a serious amount of time, all you're doing is this PvP back and forth trading, which people like Ragsy and you can crush it at and do really well at, no doubt, no disrespect. But that's not most people. Most people have jobs. Most people are going to school. Most people are trying to raise families. Even younger people, they're trying to work some crappy job, like you said earlier, and they don't want to be glued to a screen looking at the next, ERC 20 or Solana meme that's getting dropped tomorrow by
So this
insiders.
is X Spaces,
Yeah,
it's
I
crypto
understand.
bull run.
I'm
How high
sorry
will it
that
go? And this is
I was
hosted by
talking over you for some time.
Rag ZX
I
on
thought we were taking
X.
the
Okay,
conversation
a
somewhere else.
lot of a
But I
lot
mean
Hey,
that's
of
why during some of the content that I
jewels
do,
and
I've
gems will
always
be
talked
on
about also
Spaces.
having
Okay,
some
so you
assets in
gotta
the equity market
Spaces.
like
Check
a
out our
hood,
previous Spaces
right? And most
and
people they use Robinhood, and
going forward.
you'll remember, Joe. I think I've gone on to your spaces too with some of the MSTR bulls, and I told them like, why wouldn't I just buy Hood if the Michael Saylor story is already having beta proxies with these treasury companies? The MSTR story is done for a long time, and
uh,
go ahead, Rexy. Go ahead.
yeah,
Apologies.
wait, I want to respond to Joe. By the way, guys, if you're listening in the audience, I would so much appreciate if you retweeted the space or if you're on stage. It would. I love my spaces. They're cooks, and I would love for more people to know about them. I would really appreciate you. And if you have questions, you can put in the purple pill, and I'll try and answer them. But I want to. So I appreciate you. Um, Yeah. So, oh, and also follow me and all the speakers. To Joe's point. Okay, so first Joe said, "What's going to happen to these meme coins?" And then he said most people want to just like buy and hold assets they don't have to worry about. Okay. The second statement you made, I agree with. That's right. That is most people, and that's headache free, right? If you're looking to just invest in something, so, like for example, for last year, it's funny because this example is actually a meme coin. So, last year in April of 2024, I started my Discord. I was looking for local bottoms, right? Because I had a Discord, but this was for meme coins. I said, if you want to buy a meme coin and not have to worry about it, buy Doge. I think this is the bottom here. It was around 9, 10 cents. Or maybe this was in September. I'm getting the dates, but I called the bottom. I was like, and and if you want to gamble it, put it in there and you don't have to look at it. You didn't even have to look at it. You can go to bed and you can come back in Q4, sell it if you want, or you can sell at the top of the bowl. That's the that's the easiest meme coin play. Second easiest would have been Pepe, right? And so a lot of people in my Discord did that. They bought the bottom and it went to, I don't know, 4 5x Q4 last year. It's down a little bit. It's still up 2.5x. So it's like there's plays like that. So with Bitcoin, obviously, all roads lead to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the asset that, hey, if you're looking to invest, nothing in crypto is safe, guys. Like your wallet could get hacked. There's all these gotchas, right? But I think we can all agree Bitcoin's destined to go higher now with the mass adoption, right? But if you like to live on the wild side, which people do, so your point was like most people don't want to sit at their screen. Yeah, but Fortnite is still a multi-billion-dollar game. Kid, why do these kids want to stare at their screen all day? You can win a lot of money playing Fortnite. So it's like it's kind of like a similar concept in my mind. It's like, well, nobody has to do it, and it's annoying. It's annoying that people are looking to invest without a headache. But that's not what the trenches is on Solana. This is like it is PvP. We are hunting, and it is like a rough game at times, and it is PvP. I never looked at any of these things as an investment. It's all gambling and seeing who can make the best calls and things like that. At least that's what it is to me on Solana. There are some memes though on ETH I think are multi-cycle plays, and I think that your first point was like even with NFTs, like you talked about meme coins, what's going to happen? The answer to that for people in the audience who don't know is it depends what it is, right? So I was early to Doge. Okay, Doge went to 70 cents, I think, last bull run, about 80 billion market cap, something around there. Now people, I have a friend who decided to hold Doge because they believed in it so much, and they didn't round trip, but it went down significantly, right? 80%. Well, now here we are years later, and it's back up, and it's probably going to go to its all-time high, right? So was that person wrong to hold on to it? Not necessarily, right? If it's going to still go up, I think a better trade would have been to sell the top last cycle and rebuy. And a lot of people actually do that with Bitcoin, even if they say they don't. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm holding Bitcoin forever." A lot of them are lying. They sell the top and then they rebuy it in the bear, so they can double, triple, or whatever their stack. So the answer is when the bear market is about to hit, the entire market is going to implode. Your meme coin, many meme coins are going to go zero. Bitcoin is going to dump, ETH is going to dump. It's all led by Bitcoin, right? So that's going to happen. So people who've been in crypto know, yo, this is the top of the bull run. Everyone better sell. Crypto Face, who was on earlier about an hour ago, called the exact top of Bitcoin last cycle uh, correctly. So he got his guys out, right? So it's like, but if you were a Bitcoin bull, and there are definitely many Bitcoin maxis, they're never going to sell Bitcoin. They don't care it had a 70% correction. Like, no, I'm just going to keep it in my wallet and I'm going to chill. So it's kind of like if everybody does their own research, right? You can play things differently. Some people like to make the trade, some people like to just buy and hold. It depends. With meme coins, you can't really buy and hold unless you really do your research, because not all meme coins are going to be multi-cycle plays. But I could tell you, like I warned my Discord last year, I'm like, Doge is a multi-cycle play, and Doge is going to come back. How did I know that? It's the number one meme coin, and it's all was birthed. The reason why Dogecoin got so popular is because of Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is still relevant. So it was like destined to not die. Will it have another cycle after this? I don't know. I would think it would, but we'll see what happens. But hopefully that answers your question. Depends on what it is. So yes, most people, they don't want to sit in front of their computer all day. It's exhausting, and there's definitely opportunities in crypto for those people. But some people are like me. They're trench traders, and we live for this. We are like trying to find the best call. I live for this. It's fun. It's you feel me? So it's
I
different for.
totally feel you, but here's the thing, okay? To there's always going to be poker players, right? Poker is always going to be big, and there's going to be people that love poker, right? But there's also going to be my cousin who's got more money than he knows what to do with, and he will never play poker. He doesn't like it. Doesn't like losing money. He's a huge investor, right? And you call it low risk, like low stress. I mean, he's got easily multi seven figure portfolio. He would never buy one of these things. I'll just tell you, like zero interest whatsoever, which is that's his prerogative. Maybe he's leaving a lot of money on the pay table. That's not really my place to cast judgment on somebody else and what their strategies are. What I'm saying is, like, I look for things like what are critical mass. I think Bitcoin's reaching critical mass. I mean, I think there's a ton of regular normie investors now because of ETFs, because of the executive order, because of a lot of things. They're ready to pile in a big way to Bitcoin. So I actually am very bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's going considerably higher. I think we're breaking this idea of like the predictable 4-year halving cycles. Not saying it can't go down. I think it absolutely can go down. Any market can go down, but I think it's going to go considerably higher over the next 5, 10 years. And that's, to me, an incredibly easy risk adjusted bet, even from here. And I've been investing in Bitcoin since 2015. I am one of those idiots that held all the way down through the 2018 bear market. I held through the entire 22 bear market, as I was telling Wabi and others at the time. Like I literally never sell Bitcoin. Okay, haven't sold a sat in years. Really, last time was in 2017, in a little bit in the middle of it, part of it, and I've continued to buy. So to me, what I look at is like, is there anything in that area, that meme coin space, or any other part of the broader crypto space that has the staying power, that actually has any value? And I still struggle to find really a whole lot. I know my buddy CK there keeps trying to pitch me on Litecoin. He can have the floor because I know he's been waiting patiently at some point. But I mean, that's the real question to me. Is there, aside from the niche group of people like you, Ragsy, who want to sit and they want to, just scalp people on, in a PvP way, more power to you. You guys are great at that. No disrespect. But I look for is like the big critical mass moves. And I'm not sure if I see that here.
But the reason why it's not just, I mean, I love destroying people in the trenches. It's so fun, because it's like a glory thing. But you're forgetting it's not necessarily always like that, because with the examples like I gave earlier, like fart coin, dog whiff hat, These things all went to multi-billion-dollar market cap. These things are higher than most altcoins that have like real utility. So, was it such a bad idea if you could have hit 1,000x on Fartcoin, for example? You could have hit 1,000x on that, or holding Bitcoin or whatever this guy's saying, Litecoin and altcoins, yeah, because they're serious, yeah, but you're not going to hit 1,000x on those. So like, and you could have cashed that out. So it's not always. There's a lot of pump and dumps, of course, like in trenches. Like you can never trust. You trust in complete strangers with your with your destiny, right? But it's not always like that because there've been so many cases or even with Pepe, Wabi said he saw it at 300K. Holy smokes! Like, was that such a bad idea to buy Pepe at 300K? Went to 12 billion. But Pepe is
But
sitting.
it's not. But it's not. It's not. You're missing me. It's not. It's not that it's a bad idea. It's that that's the one out of like 10,000, the diamond in the rough, right? And I'm not. I'm too stupid, as Wabi knows, to ever figure out what funny cat picture or frog is going to catch on.
Yeah, yeah, fair. That's fair. Okay, CK Cardano, what did you want to add?
What's up, Ragsy? A little bit of culture, a little more sizzles with this awesome conversation, and it's actually been really cool listening to Joe and King Wabi go back and forth. I enjoyed just their kind of parlay and banter, and I just also want to really hit on something that you were touching on, Joe, because I really think it's really very, very important, which is the importance of hope, man. And while yes, Bitcoin is such a consequential technology, and it's unfortunate that some of these rooms, when you roll through and you get these younger people coming in, maybe that they get spooked, because the reality is, speaking of what some of the allures of the trenches is $50 to freedom. I'm sorry, Dark, I love you, brother, but you are not telling these people flipping burgers with $100 at the end of every month that they're going to find freedom DCAing for Michael Saylor's bags. That's just not reality. Now, if you have your eyes open, listen to me. This is financial advice. Look at Bitcoin. My Pharma has announced a $200 million acquisition. This is within the last 30 days. So don't let these toxic maxis say, oh, but Litecoin's got a longer flawless uptime than Bitcoin. That's provable. And all the things about Lightning Network and SegWit and all the and MWeb. Point is, at the end of in October, right? By the end of September, they want clarity to pass. Okay. There are many instruments that are going to be approved. Look at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. That's an Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. That's an $8 trillion consequential entity, which just gives you the idea of how major they're going with these flows. Right now, there's king making. Again, only Bitcoin and Ethereum have any on ramps. What I'm telling you is, look at also, people say, I don't buy Bitcoin because what if Satoshi comes back and sells his bag? So F Bitcoin. Then Charlie Lee and Litecoin. Oh, I don't buy Litecoin because Charlie Lee sold his bags, which has allowed it for the last several years to accumulate a diamond floor. The diamond floor of all crypto, the datum, is $50 Litecoin, right? If you and there's no founders, man, right? And the interoperability with UTXO. So to Joe's point, how do we get someone flipping a burger freedom? You tell them this, right? It's the way that, because an idea that spreads like fire, that's also the magic of like a meme, is, hey, Carol, are you going to that baby shower? Or Bill, right? Your buddy's having a baby shower. The greatest baby shower gift is for a Litecoin on Crypto Steel or in a Trezor hardware wallet. Why? Because that baby's probably not born yet, right? But by the time that baby is 18, people aren't going to be paying for college. But for the purpose of the model, right? Don't pay for your college when your baby's 18. Pay for it now and leverage time. The reality is $500, that's the cost of freedom in Litecoin. Why? Because Bitcoin's inevitable success is Litecoin success. If Litecoin is 5% as successful as Bitcoin is, it's a tremendous, ridiculous multiple. At this point, to get a 2x, you're looking at what? Damn near $250,000 in Bitcoin, whereas you have a clean 4x to 420. And I'm telling you, eyes on Halloween, right? When all this money has the ability to come in. And look at what we just see today. Bitcoin moves 1%, Litecoin, Cardano 4 or 5%. Now, F having to, give your ID to Binance and Coinbase every 6 months. If you have $1 million in Coinbase or Binance, it is yours in so much as they say it is yours. Whereas on Maya Protocol, Thorchain, etc., you could swap 1,000 Bitcoin right now with size Bitcoin to Litecoin. No KYC. The reality is there is going to be a bifurcation of society. 90% are sheep. There's opportunity out there. And quite frankly, they give us cover. The man wants to watch people and control people, and they will be complicit in their servitude. That is the reality. But this is the age of magic. Nowadays, the consequential technologies, it no longer matters where your daddy went to college or were they rich or da-da-da-da-da. Were you born in the right place? Did you have the right skin color? The
Did you
consequence,
say Age of Magic?
it is the age of magic, Joe. Here's why. Here's why, Joe. You know, you are a part magician, and here's why I know, Joe.
Like wizards?
You're a wizard in the woods, Joe. Wizards and witches out here. Get this, Joe.
We're in Hogwarts.
See, Sarah knows. See, they're all around you, Joe. You don't know you're surrounded, but we're friendly and we're empowering humanity globally. Joe, you already know a spell, and let me unlock your mind, right? What if I gave you 24 words in a particular order, Joe? Night, chimney, dust. Do you suddenly understand?
Wait, should I be writing?
You need to write these because see now that your wizard is showing, Joe. Now the normies, right? The people that are kept right now that will never cross this magical veil in this land that we are entering now. Thank you, Satoshi, and all this, right? We know we can pass $1 billion with 24 words, like a magic spell, Joe. Now, what if I also tell you 21 million UTXO, 84 million UTXO, 45 billion EUTXO, right? And you're going, what are you telling me? I'm telling you about hard cap supplies and mathematical formalism and determinism. Never to say, about scalability and concurrency and parallelism. However, Joe, we would be remiss if we did not appreciate Ragsy's appreciation of the trenches, right? Because I do get what it is. For me, it's like when you're doing linear algebra and you're solving the matrices and you're approaching reduced row echelon form and you can watch the propagation of the vector mathematics through the matrices, the rippling of the numbers, they become more discrepant the closer you approach the solution. Joe, what I'm telling you is Ragsy has a mind that loves these riches of numbers, as you too, Joe. Something of the counting of numbers in cards. There's a pleasant dynamism to the analysis that one can be privy to very immediately and every night.
Wabi, did you give him one of the candles that you have?
He's got,
right now?
There's special candles about. Now, for me, I prefer coffee and cannabis, okay? People keep asking me about my special marching powder, and I'm telling you, it's just, good genes and coffee and some really good weed. But I digress. So then you have the human element, right? The psychology, Joe. And that's, I think, where Ragsy's talking about, like where if you understand how humans work and you have an appreciation of the analysis and the numbers and you go, oh, I'm your Huckleberry Bee. I see all 7 of you. I see where your wallets are moving. I know who you are, you dastardly bee on this fucking space dumping on people. So that's happening. And that is sad. And it's been encouraged in certain communities. That having been said, people just don't want to have to pay their rent in the trenches, Joe. I think you were both right. Joe, you're 100% right. People want to be able to move with size, set it and forget it, like the 4 Litecoin for the baby shower gift. Like, that's such a banger. And also, let me color that in as well. The kid at the fryer, you tell him, guy, August 3rd, right now, you're working at In-N-Out in California. You make $20 an hour minimum. I'm telling you, you can get to $400. Right now, 4 Litecoin.
I am so sorry. I accidentally muted you. I'm sorry. Keep going.
It is all good, girl. Yeah, no, it's good. It helps the story. It's the lore. The Matrix is getting us, but we are unstoppable because there's wizards and witches in these
I
woods.
don't think you should call her a girl. Isn't that you can't do that?
No, because we did it in the parlance of not boomer, which means she understood that my vibe was like, hey, I respect you.
Okay,
Okay.
Fair enough.
So, Joe, you really are trying to almost get me, man. I'm so good, but
I'm not trying to get you. I want to have a good space.
No,
here.
I love
I
you
don't want
too,
people to
Joe.
get offended.
Yeah, so get this, right? On the hope piece, like, because
the baby shower, so the baby gets the Litecoin.
Yes.
And then
because
what
it's worth $1
then?
million in 18 years, Joe, because there's only 84 million, and this Halloween Litecoin's probably going to break its all-time high. We're looking at $130 because that hasn't broken that in 2 years. So when that happens with conviction, guys, and these boomer money all go, oh, I'm salty at Sailor, but I realize really the only thing MicroStrategy does, literally the only aspect of Bitcoin that Sailor is leveraging is the 21 million hard cap supply. He's using an infinitely inflationary system and locking that into a finite number of units. Guess what else has that? Litecoin. And again, it has a longer flawless uptime than Bitcoin, right? More than coming up on 14 years in October. We love Halloween.
So Litecoin has been like the Litecoin against Bitcoin has been like in a downtrend since like forever.
And yeah.
Is that going to break?
It is. And I'm telling you, just if you don't believe me, well, first of all, with these people that are like, oh, you're leading them off the tracks. This isn't even at a level, right, Joe, where it's not even a percentage of an allocation of your portfolio. The hope, right?
I want some of the Cardano dust, damn it. I want some of this Cardano dust.
Let's go. I love you too, bro. It's the freedom dust, bro.
Is it ketamine or cocaine?
It's a little bit of, again, it's the sativa and the coffee, but I respect your game. You know what it is, though? What I really do respect? Mushrooms and my friend, a lady with the sky diamonds, her Lucy, never mind. But I'm with you, bro. But I really
And
think
Cardano, never ever assume Sarah's gender. I'm just saying.
I'll never do that.
Hey, I
Who's talking?
This
am
is
a
Who's talking right
female.
now?
that's Mr. Bullshark. Bullshark. Shout out to
Oh,
Bull shark.
Okay, guys, if you're listening, this space is like, this is fucking epic. Everyone retweet the room and then put your comments in the purple pill. Well, I'm definitely looking at questions, but please retweet the space. Please follow me. I'm so nice. I've been doing these spaces over a year and I never tell people to follow me. But today I said remember. So definitely follow me, but also follow the other speakers, but especially me. Because I held these for over a year. I never shilled my Discord, never said to follow me. I let everybody up here. But this space is epic. We got a freaking lawyer, Robbie, a Wabi who loves God. This guy who's talking about all this magic spell shit. We got Bullshark is just Bullshark who's sarcastic. And a freaking trenches player. Sarah, who said herself she may or may not be a bop. I don't know. And we got Jared. This is like it's a pretty entertaining space. I'm just saying. I'm loving the conversation, but yeah, guys, if you could retweet the room, that'd be great. All right, go ahead, whoever was speaking.
Everybody better follow Rags or else this bop is gonna fuck you up.
That's big
Goodbye.
facts.
Don't do not follow me. Only follow everybody else. You'll get trolled if you follow me.
Yeah, Bullshark, he's got problems. I mean, he likes to interrupt and shit, but definitely follow Ragsy. She might know my girl Momo. She's also crazy, but so I mean, people come in all kind of flavors. But that's
can we
not,
get back? Can we get
yeah,
back to the break of the
please.
downtrend since forever against
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
yeah. So one of the things, Joe, for like people need hope, right? Particularly young men, bro, because we got these
I
people.
believe that's true.
Right. Amen. And I'm being very, very serious here, like because I think when we see these acts of violence, right, these public acts of violence by particularly young men, man, it's because people are out there going, "Wow, I can't pay rent for $60, like 60 hours of my life." You know what I mean? And so there's a desperation quantity, and they go, "Man, I can't afford a girlfriend. I can't da 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 da." And so how do we give them hope? And that's where, again, I think if we empower with learning and knowledge, and that's where I say the $500 to freedom in Litecoin, because imagine that guy that is working at In and Out is like, bro, I have $100 a month. I can maybe get to that 4 Litecoin before the end of 2025. And then what happens? Then they have the idea that, look, you're the member of a resistance, bro. Look, there are people that are going to DCA $500 a month into 401ks and they will not keep up with your Litecoin. Why? Because we've seen Bitcoin. But I'm telling you, Joe, Litecoin is going to do what Bitcoin did. But instead of waiting the last 15 years, Bitcoin is creating the new world. And the
But
similarity.
hold on, hold on. I'm not going to dismiss you outright.
Oh, of course,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
going to ask some questions, and
yeah, yeah.
I want just an honest answer about this. Okay, so the thing I struggle with your thesis here is that Bitcoin has a clear like institutional adoption narrative. It's just a narrative, right? It could be totally bogus, whatever. Let's just assume it's not, for the sake of argument. It has a clear narrative. Okay, I couldn't for the life of me. And I used to own Litecoin. I owned Litecoin back in 2016. I sold it all because I couldn't for the life of me figure out what the point of it was. And I guess that's what I'm searching for, other than the hard
Joe, I'll
cap
tell you what the
supply.
point of it is. Joe, I got you. You to get Litecoin and you swap it for Monero, brother. XMR. That's what you use it for.
So, well,
Well,
I do.
you can swap cash for Monero. So
Right.
what? I don't
XMR
understand.
is better, Joe. XMR is better.
XMR does
That I could.
have some
I would.
interesting privacy. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I,
Ragsy.
I was just want to say I'm getting some comment. Just so the audience knows, I do not agree with this person. He can keep talking, but I actually agree with Joe on this one. I do not agree
Well,
with. But
I just the problem I have with Litecoin is I don't understand what the point of it is. And we'll wrap this up because we're going to bore the hell out of the audience here. But you go, CK. The floor is
Yeah.
yours. I don't
No. Yeah.
reason for existence of Litecoin.
Sure. Okay. So there's a couple things here.
Close the argument, CK. Close the argument for the
Yeah,
court.
man. I mean, this becomes a deep rabbit hole, right? Because you look at some of the divisions that's happening where you've got like people that are like, damn it, we're moving away from old principles of self custody, and now we're MSTR and all these derivatives. Lightning Network, many people don't know, is a custodial system. Fediment's covenants, all the solutions to scaling Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trapped at 7 transactions per second. I'm not going to open quantum resistance and AI, da 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 da. So Litecoin, or Bitcoin rather, has 7 transactions per second. Litecoin, meanwhile, has broad legacy payment integration. It is already the most real world payment. And if you have like a Bitcoin in a Trezor and you go from
No, you can't just say. What does that mean? Real world payment. What
so
does that mean?
BitPay monitors, right, which cryptocurrencies are used for, like, hey, new egg, I just bought a new computer, or say like all of the various merchants and retailers that accept cryptocurrency payments, they track how many people are making payments, what are the associated values, and all these things. Those analytics, Litecoin has been the most used cryptocurrency because it's less than a penny.
After stables, you mean?
Well,
Correct.
actually, as a matter of fact, that I love that because we were on a space, and like most of these rooms, people. I shouldn't talk about rambling, but actually, that's a stat. Is Litecoin is used more, and I forget which one it was, but it was one of the major stables. I don't think it was USDC, but it might have been. But yeah, and again, check me on this. Obviously, check all of these facts. But so that's some of the use case, Joe. Is if you actually believe in self custody, unless you run your own Lightning node and you're willing to close the channel, you don't custody that UTXOs. That's not your Bitcoin, kids, right? But Litecoin is. And using Maya protocol and many things, you're going to be able to have integrated into your wallet, Joe, like the ability to, like on date night, you don't take your bank account with you. What you're going to do is take 1,000th of a Bitcoin and go to a Litecoin. So Lightning Network. And so
I
this
usually
has
take
been
my
information.
debit card on date night with my wife.
Well, I know, Joe.
Take my
So
debit card.
yeah. So what I am doing is I know that underneath this is it's a not as quick of an argument as the best baby shower gift is $500 of freedom in 18 years, Litecoin, for Litecoin, and all that. But underneath this is those that are dissatisfied with TradFi coming in. They understand, wow, Litecoin also is a self custody option, and it is a check and balance, bro. If miners get too much validation, if BlackRock owns too much supply, the fact that you can use these non KYC and 21 million units, 84 million units, hard cap supply, they're almost the same. Again, Litecoin's been flawless uptime. I think there's also a mutually assured destruction quality that is a pleasing freedom maximizing check, because the only way, as I've said before, and I'm encouraged because Max Kaiser has been a lot more positive. But I used to say the only way to make Bitcoin a CBDC is to cook the Max Kaiser recipe, which would be if you lobby politicians to make Bitcoin the only thing, and privileged. But because we can go to Litecoin and to Cardano, both UTXO based, which means you can speak to Bitcoin with pure mathematics. That's my thesis, Joe. Like if I told, like I've said, my two primary criteria, if anyone says, should I take this blockchain seriously? I say two things. First, does it have a maximum cap supply, right? Because if we're escaping infinite inflation, Ethereum, no supply limit. Solana, no supply limit. Doge, no supply limit, right? Whereas Litecoin, 84 million. Cardano, 45 billion. Night, upcoming privacy layer for Bitcoin and all these other things, 24 billion. So there's all these things, Joe, that I think argue for Litecoin. But again, I don't want to ramble a lot on there. And I love this all. But I think that, man, the power of the precedent, the fact that the OGs know the self-custody, the fact that it truly is, if we're being really honest, I would say the greatest advantage that Bitcoin has over Litecoin at this point is like a Kleenex, Google, Xerox advantage. It's a first mover thing rather than a technological advantage. And we look at the infighting with Core and Knots and understand the 7 transactions per second. That means in order for it to scale for the world like it must, Joe, we're going to need better technologies, and only UTXO-based hard cap supply technologies ensure supply and demand dynamics hold with hard cap supplies. And UTXO means a mathematical basis with Bitcoin. So that means my Litecoin and my Cardano speak with my Bitcoin with math. And I know stables and all this. So I'm going to be able to be on like Thailand, using just like one of my Bitcoin to collateralize it, not a taxable event, in a privacy layer, and do stables, right? And help people build businesses in Africa.
Okay.
And,
Well, we're gonna have
Guys,
to table this for a little bit. Here's the problem. Let me just tell you a problem. Here's CK. We're buddies, so
I
I
love problems,
appreciate.
Joe. Please tell me.
Yeah, not about this, but I'm just telling you an experience. I made a mistake. Okay, guys, I came into this room, and I'm not gonna lie. I might post this screenshot, Ragsy, because this is crazy. Let me just tell you what I got here. Here's what I got. I got 15 DMs. Joe, get on the bonk train. Joe, you need to buy UFD. What the hell is UFD? I have
it's
zero
unicorn
clue.
fart dust, Joe.
I don't. What? This is insane. Okay,
Jeez, Joe, where have you been? Have you been under a rock? Everybody knows about the fart dust, brother.
And you have to buy some brat.
do you need to buy dog on Bitcoin? Buy dog on Bitcoin. here's another one. Joe, you need to buy what the hell is that? AZ16. I don't even know what that is.
AI.
What's that?
It's an
I
AI one, I think.
love my spaces.
I feel so bad for my buddy Joe making himself look like a boomer.
You guys are savages. The trenches are coming for you, Joe. They're
No,
coming
I
for
mean,
you.
but I don't even know. I don't even know what this stuff is.
I'm dying over you guys, audience. You guys are savages. What? Why are you trying to get Uncle Joe said he's not hot on the meme coins? Oh my god, this is great. What else you got in there? I'm dying to know. What else are they showing you in there? Sorry,
Well, there's.
Elon got him.
Wait, what else you got in there? He had AI 16Z. Oh my god.
Sorry, I was muted. No, somebody's telling me crypto looks good here with the contract address. I don't even know what that means.
Joe,
Crypto
don't
looks
click
good.
the links, Joe. Don't click the
Yeah,
I'm
links.
no
not
links,
clicking
bro.
anything. I don't click any links in here. But somebody says crypto looks good here. I don't. What is crypto? Is there a coin called crypto? Is there
Oh my.
something called crypto? A coin?
I think they're
No,
referring to the
Joe,
market.
no.
Just the market looks good.
No, no. This is like a coin. There's like a contract address or something.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just block that person. Just block them, Joe.
okay.
Joe,
What else we got? What
I,
else we got here? Okay, so M. What the hell is M? Buy M token. Buy
oh,
fart
Joe,
coin.
careful. Don't click any links because you don't.
Somebody. Okay, I've heard of this one. Brett. What everybody keeps telling me
Yeah,
about
you should
Brett. I don't
follow
know
the
what.
person that said to
What the
buy
hell is
Brett. You
Brett?
should actually instant follow them right now and
Brett
like
on
just pay
base.
attention to them.
Um,
Delete all
Pang,
messages, Joe.
Pangu. There's
Delete
two.
all
So
messages.
Joe's
there's
making
two.
himself sound 10 years older than he is.
There's two Pangus. Two Pangos back to back. Somebody's spamming me with Pangu. I don't even know what that is. What, guys? This is the problem. I have no idea what any of this crap is. Like,
Wait,
I literally.
I'd like to answer Joe. Sometimes my mic mutes when other people talk, so that's why I hit mute button sometimes. Wait, I would like to answer some of those questions. Joe, number one, whatever you do, do not click any links because you don't know if there's a scammer in the audience. They're trying to scam you, so do not click the links. But you brought up a very good one. Somebody told you to buy Brett. I'd love to tell you about that because Brett is actually Pepe's best friend, the blue toad from the original story, The Boys Club, and that's on base. And that one I hit super early. It went to 3 billion market cap. I think it's at like 4 to 600 mil right now. But yeah, so like there's Pepe. I'm sure you know what Pepe is. And then there's Brett was like the second big character that came out, and I have because I was early to Brett. I have a huge Brett following, so that's why they're showing you Brett. But that other crap, you gotta be careful because you don't know if they're sending you contract addresses that they're trying to scam you for your Bitcoin or something.
Well, this thing looks like it's straight down. Like Brett is where it's trading last May. Like what? Why would I buy this?
Because it's down, Joe, and it's gonna go back up. That's when you want to buy it.
Because
You
you have
buy the blood, brother.
wait, I would love to you guys are savage. Dude, I love it. The trenches are coming for Joe.
When she's down, you want her to go up, Joe?
Wait, so this is okay. So this is why people are still bullish on Pepe and Brett. So I love that. Actually, told you all about this. So there's Ethereum, right, which is second to Bitcoin, the most liquid chain. Ethereum has not run yet this cycle, but the theory is it's about to. BlackRock has it. BlackRock bought over $1 billion worth of Ethereum in July recently. Their biggest buys recently were around the 2,500 mark, and then again at 3,300. I did some research on it. So BlackRock is buying ETH for some reason. It's all speculation. We don't know why, but they do have an ETF, right? ETH ETF. So the reason why you would buy Brett, which I'm not telling you to do, but I definitely have Brett and I have Pepe and some other things, is because those are on the Ethereum chain. And typically, when
Well,
Ethereum
this says on base. It says Brett on base.
well, it is on base. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. So when Ethereum runs, usually the top memes on ETH do more multiples than ETH. So if ETH goes to let's say like 6,400. I don't know what the price of ETH right now, or let's say 7,000. Let's say ETH goes 7,000. That's only a 2x from now. Whereas if ETH doubles in price, you could potentially get a 10 to like 50x on Pepe, something crazy, right? The reason why people like Brett is because of what you just said. It's on something called Base. So in the bear, Coinbase, the leading exchange, there's something called Ethereum gas fees. So when you swap meme tokens or anything on ETH, you have to pay a hefty fee. That was the appeal of Solana, by the way, and why people like memes on Solana. But anyway, so Coinbase was like, let's figure out a way to help with these gas fees. So Coinbase Exchange created the base chain in the bear market, and it's built on top of Ethereum. So it's not a separate chain, it's on Ethereum. So it's like trading Ethereum, but it's on the back end, so you're not paying the gas fees. And Brett is on that. So people, instead, like, you could still trade Pepe. Pepe's on Robinhood now. People won't even see the gas fees. But for a lot of traders, Brett is also favorable because you're not paying the crazy gas fees you would on Ethereum because it's on base. And the reason why people like Brett and other base memes is because that's Coinbase's L2 for Ethereum.
But hold on a second. So what's the difference in fees between Solana on chain and a base on Ethereum providing this stuff?
They're essentially the exact same, only base
So
is
so what's the difference? I mean, I guess that's why would I want to get on
Brett is the
bases?
mascot of
50
base.
cents to $1, Joe. 50 cents to $1, Joe. Let's be
It's going to
pragmatic
$1.
about it. Let's look
You
at
think he's going to double here?
Oh, I think Brett is gonna go. For me personally, that's where I put my money. I think it's gonna go way higher than double. But the reason why I pick base is because so there's like different blockchains, right? There's Bitcoin, but then there's Ethereum, and then there's memes on Solana. The reason why Solana was so hot last year is because it was so cheap to trade them. You didn't have to pay swap fees or a transaction fee. They're like pennies on the dollar. On Ethereum, if you make a swap today, Ethereum's not even pumping, you'd probably pay $5 to $10 just for a swap. On Ethereum, you're paying. I'm sorry, on
Yeah,
Solana,
but hold on, Ragsy, I appreciate it. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to go in a second. So this is 5 cents for Brett. You're saying 5 cents is this is a good entry here?
So this is why I gotta go look what you're saying. I don't actually ever look at the price. What I
What?
do,
How do you buy
no,
things without looking at price?
well, I'll tell you why. I don't look at the price. My trick is I look at the market cap because the market cap is actually more important than the price. So, Brett, if you're saying it's 5 cents, I'm guessing it's about 500 mil market cap. Yes, I'm correct. It's 522 mil market cap. So I look at the market cap, not the price. But essentially, it's a
That's pretty
multiple.
big. That's pretty big, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a 500 mil. It's in the top 10 biggest memes in the world. It has a ton of exchange listings. Just got listed on Binance. It's not on Coinbase yet, but there's speculation that it will be because it's on Base, which is Coinbase's L2. There's no guarantee it will be. We don't know, but that's the allure of Brett is because it's second to Pepe, and you're not paying when Ethereum takes off and is at 7,000. If you're swapping on Ethereum, people are going to have to pay $100 on ETH to swap into a meme. People aren't going to want to do that. But if they use Base, you're still paying a cent. You're paying like a cent to make the swap, like on Solana.
Okay,
So
okay. Somebody just DM me. Everyone's saying Brad. They're just saying that because they're sad they don't own UFD. What's your response to that?
UFD.
Walk away, Joe. Walk away. Delete your fucking
Joe,
messages, Joe. What the
Joe was
fuck?
asking what's the difference between Base and Solana if they're both like really low fees. I think it would help Ragsy if you could explain to him like also the difference between like the ETH meme coin culture and like the Solana meme coin culture. Like that's also a big reason why Bread is very favorable, right?
Yeah. So
And
okay.
when to delete messages.
Yeah. To answer his first question, um, UFD is not a direct competitor to Brett, so I don't know why the UFD people would do that. UFD is on Solana. It's on it. Brett is not on Solana. Brett's on a completely different blockchain. They're not competitors whatsoever. They're completely two different things. Sarah loves UFD, so she's gonna. It's probably Sarah's people showing you UFD, but these are two completely different things. Brett is on Base, which is on Ethereum. Pepe is on Ethereum, two completely different blockchains. The reason why so there's difference between all the stuff I told you earlier between the trenches, which is super high risk plays like that I'm in and out, and maybe I hit a sender. big difference between that and things like Pepe and Brett. Pepe
Well,
and
that's what
Brett.
I was asking about earlier, and everybody's telling me about the trenches. Like,
Oh,
that's what I was.
I didn't
I
realize.
feel like I'm watching Odysseus be lured by the sirens, bro. Joe, if I
So sorry, I have to mute you because if you talk when I'm talking, it mutes me. Sorry. So okay, I don't want to have to mute people. Okay, so I didn't realize that. I actually thought you were talking about the Solana trenches. So the reason the trenches on Solana are like newly deployed meme coins that could be send or go straight to zero. The thesis with Pepe and things like Brett is that these have meme coins that have been around, that have survived all the market conditions so far. So Pepe came out first in 2023, Brett came out early in 2024. Now, Brett and Pepe did not go to zero. They're both still here. Brett's sitting at 500 mil market cap. Pepe's sitting at a couple billion. So if they were going to go to zero or there was no longer interest in them, they would have went to zero a long time ago. Like everything on Solana goes to zero every day, goes straight to zero. So this proves they've already withstood a lot of the conditions so far this bull run. So that's why people are still bullish on Brett. You're saying look at the chart, it's down. For me, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it's not financial advice. That's a buying opportunity because you always want to buy a meme coin when the chart is down.
Yeah, but don't you want to buy the strength? I mean, Ragsy. I mean, don't you
No,
want?
not with a meme. Okay, so like with meme coins, it's a little more complicated than that. You want to buy the bottom of the chart because the meme coin traders market is more of a day traders market. So people will sell the top and re-enter at the bottom of the chart, the same wallets. So that's why you see a lot of meme coin charts. You were probably looking like, oh my God, this is the craziest chart I've seen in my life. If you start looking at meme coin charts, you're going to see a lot of that. And that's because it's usually typically a day trader's market. So people are taking profits at the top, waiting for the token to dump, and then they're rebuying the good ones. So that's what happened with Pepe. Pepe went to 10 billion market cap, and a lot of people sold the top there. It went back down to 2 billion. But then, like 2 weeks ago, went back up to 6 billion, and they could have tripled their money because meme coins are like extremely volatile, a lot more volatile than the altcoins. So that's why the meme coin charts always look so crazy. So it's like I'm not telling you to bid this, but I'm telling you why people are bidding it because they're still bullish on it because they think like what I think when
But
Ethereum.
don't all these rise and fall together? I mean, doesn't the meme coin market generally follow Bitcoin?
Joe, compare Ethereum's chart to Brett's chart. Take a look at them side by
They do,
side.
but
Okay.
they do.
Yeah, I can actually get to what Joe's going for. So how these memes work is they're all momentum trading. So when one meme hits an all time high like Pepe does, what they do is everyone it can't go much higher or there's not as much momentum leverage left. It's like the law of diminishing returns. So then they all sell and then they get into another one that's like been around for a while instead of like a new runner because those are like 99% chance to zero soon. So then they buy the blood of another chart when it's at the bottom, but one that's gone up and down a few times. So you kind of have like some kind of reliability that it's going to rebound because it's like
Hold
been
on, hold
around.
on. What do you mean they can't run higher? That's I don't understand.
Well, if
They
something's at
rotate their
its all-time
gains.
Yeah.
high, it can go higher, but because there's no fundamental value to it,
Dogecoin went to
there's
like
no
80
reason.
billion. Like that's what I don't understand. It went to 80 billion.
Yeah, but then you would need all that. These people don't have a lot of liquidity, so the idea is they have liquidity issues to get the market cap high. It's based on a lot of small buys at once. It's not like Bitcoin where you have like huge whale buyers, like in the beginning days, like huge whale buyers could get Bitcoin from like
No, there's whales with
2,000 to
meme coins. I,
3,000.
I I represent some whales that are meme coins. So what do you mean? There's definitely whales in meme coins.
Yeah, I'd like to answer Joe. I love your. By the way, I love your questions. They're so good because it actually helps me understand like people who don't maybe do all the crazy stuff I do. These are really good questions. I'd like to answer that, and this is something I would. This kind of information I usually only give my Discord, so the audience lucky today. But we have a great panel and a great stage. But okay, so the reason why Doge went to 80 billion, this is how meme coins work. They're essentially based on psychology and hype. in 2019, which is when I first found Dogecoin. I was a very lucky person. And in 2020, the crypto markets started to really, go bullish, and Dogecoin started going up. That's what started the initial buzz, because Doge was the first meme coin. Why did Doge go to 80 billion? Is because Elon Musk started shilling it on Twitter and kept saying Doge to the moon. And so it went crazy ballistic. He did like even an episode on Saturday Night Live and said Doge to the moon, and it went to 80 billion market cap. So that's why so many memes revolve around Elon, because he's the Doge father. He's like the lead meme king. He started this whole thing with Dogecoin. So when Dogecoin ran, it went to 80 billion. People were thinking exactly what you thinking. Oh my gosh, how the heck did this meme coin go to 80 billion? And that's what kind of birthed the whole meme coin crazy market. So all these meme coins started pumping. Like, what about this meme coin? What about this meme coin? The second meme coin that was close to Doge that came out was Shiba Inu, that I happen to be super early to, and it went all the way to a $40 billion market cap, and I sold the top on my TikTok live. That's actually why I'm popular in meme coins. It's what I'm known for selling the top of Shiba, right? And I sold the top because I knew that I'm like, guys, the market's over. Like, we're going into a bear. I can't be holding meme coins right now, right? So that's what birthed this whole meme coin market. It actually all stems down to Elon. Now, Pepe is the most, just forget about the coin for a second. Pepe the meme is the most iconic meme in all of crypto. Pepe has been used in crypto since forever. It's a Bitcoin thing, it's a crypto internet culture thing. So that's why when Pepe came out in the bear market and actually gained momentum and passed thresholds like 10 million, 20 million, people really started to gravitate around that one. And that's why that one went to 12 billion this cycle, because that's an iconic meme. It has intrinsic value. It means something to crypto. There's a culture around the meme itself. And that's why Brett went to 2 billion. It's on a correction now, but it's still at 500 mil market cap, higher than a lot of altcoins, right? Because it's connected to Pepe. So the meme coin ones for the big senders that are really going to go big, it's all based on psychology, but also
What about the Trump coin?
okay, so the Trump coin, I think, launched at 300 mil market cap.
It's a top 6 meme. It's a top 6 meme. I just checked in market cap.
Yeah, because he's the president, and he's related to crypto. He's the one passing all this crypto policy. When Trump,
endorsed it.
yeah, Trump endorsed it. Trump tweeted.
So why isn't that a good, allocation of capital here? The Trump
Because
coin.
they created Melania.
No, he's not wrong. A lot of people are bullish on Trump. A lot of people have that one too. I personally am not holding it because I don't think Trump is ever. I don't want to FUD. The Trump people are going to come after me. I don't think Trump is going to shill that again, to be honest. I think he was like, hey guys, Trump literally tweeted that on Twitter. He's like, I have this meme coin, tweet it. It went crazy to like 70, 80 bill market cap, whatever. And a lot of people made a lot of money on Trump. And a lot of people are thinking what you're thinking, like, well, why wouldn't I buy this? And a lot of people do buy Trump because they think that he's going to continue to support and push it. It's my own personal opinion. I'm not personally buying that one because I don't know if he will, because that came out before he took office. You see, so I don't know if there's like some kind of weird loophole where he won't be able to. I don't know. I just don't know. But art, I know. In memes, I know. So that's why I like, Brett and Pepe. But if you like the Trump coin, you have a reason why you think it.
No, I don't necessarily. I'm just curious. Like it is a top. What I think is fascinating is it's a top 6 of the meme coins. It's top 6. You got Doge, Shib, Pepe, Pengu, which I still don't even understand, Bonk, and Trump.
Yeah. Yep. Those are the top 6. So Bonk started its own platform. So that's why Bonk is literally like so high right now. I actually haven't looked. I'm looking at. You're making me so interested in the current market caps of tokens. But yeah. So a lot of people are bullish on Trump, and a lot of people have that one because they like Trump or they think he's going to keep promoting it. I like to stick with the OG memes that are non-political because I think they can be open to everybody. So that's probably why that Pengu one is so high, right? It's just the Pengu.
How is SHIB number two? SHIB is number two. It's huge.
Yeah, I sold.
Huge.
7 billion market cap for SHIB.
Yeah,
What the heck?
Brett is the ship of this cycle, my guy.
yeah,
Yeah, Brett, the blue frog, huh?
yeah, that's what we think. I sold Shiba at a 40 billion market cap last cycle, and then I re-entered it in 2023, hit a 3x on it, and then sold it. And I still have some SHIB, but for me, I think the narrative is shifting toward Pepe, and we kind of see that creeping up here. We see the Solana narrative, like you said, with Bonk and Trump creeping up here. But if you look down under Trump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places down, you see Brett. You see it's creeping up. So there's a reason why these memes on the top here have such high market caps. It's because there's things associated with them. There's lore. For Trump, he is president. For Pengu, that was an NFT collection that came out in 2021. It was like extremely popular NFT collection that I almost bought. I didn't end up buying it because they were like 30 grand in NFT at the.
What do they trade at now? The NFTs.
They're doing pretty well compared to other collections. Pulled up probably a couple ETH. If I had to guess, like 15 to 20 grand. But let me just check. And if you,
So what's interesting is that when SHIB was popping off, I didn't buy any again, of course, but I had normies like people in real life talking about SHIB and talking about being the next Doge, and that was interesting to me, like the fact that they were talking about it being the next Doge and regular people. I don't know if that's like going to happen again, but it's definitely something to think about.
yeah, it's associated with Dogecoin. So that's why last cycle I bought Shiba because Doge had run off so much. So I aped Shiba Inu, very low market cap, and it went to 40 bill because it was at the time the next Doge. It still is the next Doge. There's Doge, there's Shiba, and then there's Pepe, and there's Brett. And you see, I think when the Ethereum takes off, so if people who aren't bullish on Ethereum, they think Ethereum's cooked and is going down, then they should not copy trade me. They should not buy Pepe and Brett. If you're bearish on Ethereum, you shouldn't. But if you were bullish on Ethereum, a lot of people will be putting their money into Pepe. And then who's the next Pepe? Brett, because that's his best friend from the comic. So from the Boys Club. And they're thinking that when ETH runs, Pepe is going to blow to the moon, and then Brett is going to follow, similar to Doge and Shiba last cycle. The reason the Pengu, and I looked it up, these are such great questions. The reason why the Pengu is so high, their NFT floor right now is $50,000. If you want a pudgy penguin, it's $50,000 still. They really held their value. And that coin, they airdrop that. If you had a pudgy penguin, they airdrop that token to you. So they had a lot of people who were holding pudgy just got the token for free, and that's a strong community clearly because their NFTs are still at 50K. That's holding. So that's the lore. I personally don't have Pengu, but that's why that one's so high as well because that's a leading NFT collection that actually survived from last cycle, which is rare.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Bedtime for me. Thanks again for entertaining my questions, and everybody have a great night.
Nice to see you, Joe.
Bye, Joe. Thanks for coming. You had great questions. We want you to come back. Dude, he asked really good questions. But you see,
I like Joe.
yeah, he asked great questions. Like, is this so interesting to me? But see, audience, I am the meme queen. I can tell you the ins. Ask me about any meme token. I can tell you the ins and outs of any meme. Ask me anything, and I'll answer you because I know me as silly and nerdy as it sounds. I know the memes. I know the meme coins. I know the this meme coin market. But that was really great. I love his questions. Okay, other people can talk now.
Rexy is a meme lore specialist.
Dude, I can tell you, even in my Discord when I'm posting shitters, I can tell you the reason why I put all those shitters on a watch list as well. Even though I could tell you the reason behind everything. I just don't have all day for that limited time. But I could tell you where I put my money is the Pepe Brett narrative it's hot. It's hot. Pepe is on freaking Robinhood. I think it just did not, in my opinion, I don't believe it hit its all-time high. And I think when ETH takes off, I think Pepe is going to take with it, and I think people are going to run to go buy Brett because it's on base and it's cheaper, and that's where I put my money. So if I'm wrong, audience, first of all, I'm not telling anybody to buy it, exactly what I told Joe, but know that if I'm wrong, no one's gonna cry harder than me, because that's where I put my own personal money and my own personal bets. You feel me? So if I'm wrong on Ethereum and Ethereum tanks and goes to zero, I'm gonna lose a significant amount of money, because that's all my money is wrapped up on ETH. Do you understand? I'm gonna have to pay more than anybody if I'm incorrect. So, but I don't believe I'm incorrect. And it made me so happy that Crypto Face earlier said he was bearish last year and changed his mind. Now he's bullish on ETH, which is fucking amazing. So that's what I'm doing with my money, and I know the reasons why I'm doing it, and everyone's got to know the reasons why they're doing shit too. But I can't believe they were Sarah. I can't believe they were shilling him in his DMs.
I know, I can't believe that either. And he was able to like receive the DMs. I don't know. And he said he got like 15 of them. That's crazy. You guys are crazy.
Dude, the audience is the trenches coming out, man. Hey, trenches audience, you're a bunch of savages. You better be following me and the other speakers, but you better follow me. Dude, I did a whole year of spaces and never told anybody to follow me ever. Come on, how will you not follow Ragsy? With all that information I just dropped. This space is fucking epic, by the way. What a great space today.
Ragsy is the GOAT. No cap.
Dude, Ragsy is at 24.9K followers. We should get her to 25K by the end of this space. So if you guys aren't following Ragsy, follow her. Let's get her to that 25K.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that. That would make my night, actually. I feel like my information was really solid. Dude, I love that guy asking the questions though, because he asked a lot of really good.
You always have really great information, Ragsy. I love that. Sometimes when I'm having a space, I'm like, where the fuck is Ragsy? I need her to come up so that we can ask her about real shit and so she can drop some alpha.
Dude, I'm a nerd with this shit. I could talk about shit. I was literally on Wabi's show this morning. I wanted to go to the gym, and I was like, no, Wabi wants to talk meme coins, so I have to go on a show and talk about meme coins first. Then I went on the Stairmaster, which, as you know, they moved my favorite Stairmaster, so I can't be on Spaces anymore because it's in a more public area of the gym. And then I did the Stairmaster, and I came back, and then I talked all that stuff with Crypto Face, and now Uncle Joe is asking me meme coin questions, which I love. So yeah, so it's like I'm down. Like it, I like it, and that's why I'm always like transparent. Right, the stuff I do is high risk. It's not for everybody. So I could tell, like, people like Joe, they like things that are more safe in a sense. In my opinion, nothing in crypto is safe. Nothing is guaranteed. Somebody said it earlier. Terra Luna went to freaking zero. I think it was Wabi last cycle. Okay, and that was considered a safe altcoin. Nothing's safe. So if nothing's safe, okay, and I could get my Bitcoin hacked or my altcoins could go to zero, then fuck that. I'm gonna buy Pepe and try and hit a 50x. I'm gonna buy Brett and try and hit a 50 or 100x. You feel me? So don't be hating me. Don't be hating the game. You want to buy your altcoins, baby. You go buy what you want to buy, because everyone's gonna buy what they want to buy anyway. But just don't be hating on me for being a badass in the trenches, because that's where I would like to fuck around and find out personally. But I also do altcoins as well. But I really like fucking finding out in the trenches. So, Panda, you have a question? And this guy, I think he's been waiting. Crypto Data, you had some things you wanted to say?
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Ragsy, King Wabi, Sarah, awesome live stream, awesome spaces, guys, love it. I just want to tell you my target since I joined here, and I've known Wabi for a bit and Donnie as well. But my target for Bitcoin is 250K by May of 2026, and I'm going to go over a couple of reasons why. It may just be about 3 to 5 minutes, but there's a lot of reasons why I believe the market. One, it's maturing, but two, there's a lot more adoption, right? You guys mentioned BlackRock and they have their Ethereum ETF. They also filed for their Ethereum staking ETF, which once that gets approved, Ethereum is absolutely sending because it's going to enable what's called rehypothecation, which is basically restaking Ethereum over and over to get more APY. And you're obviously open to slashing risk. If there's one bad actor in a pool, then basically you're going to lose all your Ethereum. But that's going to be a huge catalyst. Also, there's a lot of other catalysts, such as obviously the Genius Act is signed into law, which is extremely bullish for Ethereum because people use more stable coins. USDT, USDC is on the Ethereum network. It becomes deflationary via the EIP 1559 mechanism, yada yada, burns, supply demand economics there. And then also you have the US government. They haven't even announced an accumulation plan for the SBR. And we already know from Bo Hines, the executive director for digital assets of the Trump administration, he's already said one, they're exploring tariff savings because they say they'll accumulate more Bitcoin if it supports a delta neutral strategy. So one of those is via tariff savings, or two, issuing gold certificates or other ways. But they're going to announce one because he's constantly said they want to accumulate as much as possible. You also have $9 trillion of US retirement accounts that are now going to get exposure to crypto, which is going to have a massive wealth effect. You also have Trump considering no taxes on transactions less than $600. I know they were flirting with that a week ago, but that's also going to be big. And then obviously Sailor, Metaplanet, SharpLink, T-Wapping Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and then also the interest rate cuts that we're all waiting on, right? So Jerome Powell obviously didn't cut rates this time around, but now everyone's thinking September is going to be the time. And so that's also going to have another effect where you're going to have more money. Basically, quantitative tightening is going to end, quantitative easing is going to start, the money printer is going to turn on, and you're basically going to pump the market. So all that to say, we also, for the bottom, which, from the recent drop, I believe is going to be close to August 8th. And I just want to mention that real quick, and then I'll stop the spiel here. But there's a lot of things that are happening around that date. You have the Fed Governor Kugler, who's resigning August 8th, which that'll give Trump the opportunity to shape the central bank, which will be a nice catalyst afterwards. Also, some good points here is the 24-hour liquidations. They actually rose over $1 billion a few days ago. And for anyone who doesn't know, if you go to CoinGlass, you can look at the 24-hour liquidations. Anytime it's over $1 billion, usually that marks the bottom within 1 to 3 days. So seems like it marked the bottom at 112K, but we'll see over the next few days. And also, August was historically bullish for Bitcoin in 2017 and 2020, and I think even 2013. So that seasonality is actually following suit. And then September is historically bearish, so we'll probably expect a drop in September. But we also had a similar crash last year, August 2024. Remember the Japan carry trade unwinding? That was on August 5th, before we had the massive pump on August 8th. And then for anyone who studies moon phases, the next full moon is August 9th, which is historically bullish. We had the new moon, I believe, on July 24th, which we dropped before that, but then we had obviously this previous drop. But with all that said, I do think that, again, Bitcoin's going to get mass adoption. It already is. Ethereum is well on its way. I mean, Bitcoin did break its 8-year weekly trend line resistance on the run up when it broke above 114K, which that was the big thing. And that's why it sent up to 123. And so now we're retesting that resistance as support. So as long as that holds on the weekly, we're going to go a lot higher. And there's a couple models as well that show it's going to at least 230K by mid 2026. So it lines up. Also, you have Kobe, the popular Kobe X account. He's expecting 250K. A couple other big accounts are expecting higher as well. And then for Ethereum, obviously you were saying, I mean, when that thing breaks 4K, all bets are off because it's actually in a monthly pennant. So if you look at the resistance and support, it's actually coming to a head. And so once that breaks out, which it technically already has, but we still got to close above, I believe, 3,900 on the monthly candle for that to actually confirm a breakout. Then you have measured moves of 5,200, 6,200, and 7,200 or more, which I think it's going to go probably 8K or higher. But yeah, that's what I think. And I know that was a lot of information, but I just wanted to tell everything because I was waiting for a while, and yeah, I just want to make sure it all got out there.
No, thanks. I appreciate that. You are actually the first person I met that said we're going to 250. So when you said that, I was actually extremely curious. I don't know if I agree with you. So just so I'm clear with the audience, I don't know if I agree with him, but I think what he said is it's interesting. You see, like I would say it can't, but this cycle is so different. It's so different this cycle. You got pro crypto legislation, you got the hedge funds in. Honestly, anything can go this bull run. It is the bull run where anything could happen. we talked about an alien invasion earlier. Like, this is the bull run where really anything could happen. It could be like a global adoption of Bitcoin or something crazy after the alien invasion. Like, that sounds nuts, but I'm being like dead fucking serious right now. And there's really certain cryptocurrencies that have technology, which you guys might not know this, and I'm not shilling, I'm just saying because I know, like Ripple XRP is some kind of technology where if the internet goes out, you could still like send the crypto and stuff without internet. Like, the stuff some of these companies are building is insane. So I think anything could happen this bull run, but what I don't know if we're going to 250, but I wouldn't rule it out. Like, I wouldn't rule out what this guy's saying. How do I know I'm not wrong? But and Crypto Face said he thinks 150 is the top. I thought that was interesting. So maybe it's we'll add 150 to 250 and cut it in half. What is that? 175? 200? I'm good with that. I think that would be great. I think that's a great number, actually. I would be, you'll never see me again. If Bitcoin goes to 200K this cycle, that means ETH is going to like 8, 10K. I don't think you guys are going to see me again, and it'll be very sad, which is why you should follow me now and get all this alpha. Because if this guy is right, you're literally never going to see me ever again on Twitter. I'm just going to disappear. So let's, even though I don't think this guy's correct, I don't agree with him. Let's hope that I'm fucking wrong. And let's hope and pray that this guy is fucking right so that I can disappear from crypto Twitter indefinitely. Okay, next person. Who had their hand up? I actually think the master guy had his hand up next. What's up, bro?
Yeah, thank you very much, Rexy. The conversation so far has been very, very, very interesting and very educative for a lot of people here, and for me particularly. So for me, I'll be speaking more on ETH, and why is that? And sincerely speaking, I quite agree with some of the things you've made mention of, and there's basically no reason why people shouldn't even be bullish on ETH right now. If you look at it from the perspective of the recent petrol upgrade that if did. First of all, let me start by saying if you combine most of all the foundational alts, case in point like BNB, Solana, Cardano, XRP, and what like, they are not spending as much money as if when it comes to development. We combine that what they are spending. So Ethereum is basically spending a whole lot of money on innovations and development. So, in fact, most of the L2s we see today, like the Base, the Optimism, the ZK Zinc, most of them is being invested in by ETH as a result of the scalability issue or the gas fees and whatnot. But having said that, when you look at it from the perspective of the Petra upgrade, this Petra upgrade is significantly a turning point for Ethereum. And it's quite evident on the charts because the day the Petra upgrade went live, which is if I'm not mistaken, it should be on the 8th or 9th of I think May, it's quite evident on the chart that the I mean Ethereum has basically been bullish ever since. And the specific thing, that one of the major things that Petra upgrade did, aside the fact that it makes gas fees quite reduced compared to how it was before, is the number of ETH that is takeable, for validators. And this is something that basically attracts a whole lot of institutions because prior to the upgrade, the maximum number of ETH that could be staked is basically just 32. And with the upgrade, it was increased to 2048, which means that it attracts a whole lot of institutions to come into Ethereum, and if they don't even want to stake, because I mean, imagine a company like an institution like BlackRock owning roughly, let's say, about 200, 300, or 400,000 ETH, and they want to stake the ETH. Staking 32 ETH at the time is quite cumbersome compared to staking about over 2,000 plus ETH. So it's on the institutional side, it's way, way more attractive, since that upgrade went live for institutions. And it's not surprising that we started seeing, if you notice, when BlackRock started buying ETH, they started buying ETH towards that downtrend, and just immediately Petra upgrade went live. And it's not surprising that we are seeing GameLink. GameLink also pivoting and holding a whole lot of ETH. Currently, the second largest holder of ETH, dethroning the Ethereum Foundation. And still speaking on the institutional side, it's quite interesting and attractive for the institutions, to get to stake as much ETH as possible in a more faster way. And the fact that the number of ETH that can even be staked is increased, simply means that the interoperability of most of these nodes and validators, they tend to communicate way quicker and faster. And when you look at that, and you look at the next two upgrades that ETH is doing, which is going to be the Fusaka upgrade and the Glamsterdam upgrade, one of those upgrades is going to be integrating what we know as basically the ZK Zinc. So it's the ZK technology that will be integrated into the layer one. I think that should be the Amsterdam upgrade. Of course, it's something that is still being discussed and talked about. So some of all these things are things that when you put in perspective the future of ETH, there's really no reason at this point in time not to even be bullish on ETH, on ETH. But the key thing is when you look at the chart, it really needs to break above 4K. And for someone like you, who has been here for quite a number of time, and of course for those who aren't, this is not the first time that ETH is basically struggling, in terms of price. I mean, the very first bull run that ETH,
Uh-oh, what happened? Did we lose him? Oh,
Yeah, I think
uh,
he just rugged.
oh shit. Okay. All right, who is next? Panda. Panda, what's up?
Hey, thank you. Um, I just want to say thank you for the space. This space has some hitters in it. Yeah, the listener count, like the listener list that you guys have, it has some crazy hitters in there. So this must be the place to be. So I appreciate you bringing me up. I just wanted to say when that guy came up to talk about meme coins, and he seemed like an altcoin or like a Bitcoin guy primarily and not really, in the trenches. It's crazy to hear his perspective and not really understanding how the meme coin market actually works. And when he was talking about like, what do you mean it can't go any higher? It's just a different. It's day trading, but it has its own world and its own like technical analysis, if you even really want to call it that. But I
It's not a
mean,
stock.
right. It's like its own thing, but if you can figure it out and take the time to, learn the trenches, it stops being such a casino and it becomes like a viable trading platform for someone to, make some money. So it's just interesting to hear the points of views. It's really cool to hear what you guys had to say. I've been just getting educated. So uh, I kind of wanted to add that. A question would be um, for I've never traded outside of Solana yet. So if I were to get on, like start trading like base meme coins or some other platforms, what other networks would you suggest trying out first? And then how do you where do you guys usually go to trade? Like I usually use like Axiom for Solana and stuff. Are there aggregators like that for I know GMGN does allow you to trade on other other networks, but what are the other people doing? What are you guys using to trade Brett or and what other networks are you guys trading on?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and answer you. I agree with you. I actually love those questions from that guy Joe because he's clearly to me a Bitcoiner or somebody who's big on altcoins. By the way, guys, if you're on stage or if you are in the audience, I'd really appreciate if you retweet the space. I'm really tired, but I'll keep the space going if we have listeners. So if you wouldn't mind retweeting the space, I actually think I dropped a fuck ton of alpha. I mean, that Joe guy, that's why he kept asking me questions. Right? I think he's liking it, to be honest. If you guys wouldn't mind retweeting the space, I would so greatly appreciate you. I feel like my spaces are so good and people just don't know about them. So I would really appreciate if you did that. And if you want to write some questions in the purple pill, I've been responding to some of you and stuff. It's been like super fun. You can leave me questions in the purple pill. But yeah, to answer Panda here, yeah, okay, so you said you use Axiom for Solana. I also use Axiom for Solana. So the reason why most people lose on meme coins is because I'm like a meme coin connoisseur. Like I am like love memes, been into memes. For people who are just joining, like I've been trading memes since last cycle. I found Doge in 2019 super early because I love memes. And we can even go a step further. The Ragsy lore is I love meme stocks, and I was part of that whole GameStop craze. So I was destined for this meme coin stuff. Like this is my wheelhouse, right? So how am I actually successful at trading meme coins that others aren't? And the secret is you have to know the lore of the memes. There's a reason why Pepe went to 12 billion. There's a reason why Doge is the number one coin. You have to know the lore. And because I knew the lore, people like, she was early to Pepe, Brett, Andy. Well, it's not fair. Well, it is fair because I know the fucking lore. If you know the lore of the memes, you will hit all these crazy runners like me. You have to know why things are so high. I could tell you, I just sat here with Joe and he asked about the top 6 and I answered him on all 6 of them. I knew the reason why each one of those is high. You have to know the lore. It's not just, it is gambling in a way that all crypto is high risk, but there's reasons why certain meme coins go up and stay there and others fizzle into the background. It's because the narrative, I'm sure some of you have heard this, the narrative is not strong enough because there's no lore. And so to answer Panda's question, on Solana has a lot of things which I coined a term called hype memes. There's hype memes and there's lore memes. You can trade whatever you want. I trade hype memes all the time. But the problem is you don't want to stay in a hype meme play for a prolonged period of time because when the hype dies, it's going to die. Let's take the Sydney Sweeney's boobies, for example. That was hot in the trenches last week. It's old news already. It's old news. I know some of you dudes are like, no, no, no. Her boobies are news forever. Okay, that's fine. But in the trenches, it's old news. It's news. It's hot for a second. It's out. There's no lore behind the boobies. The boobies are great. We love the boobies. We're not hating on anybody, but there's no lore there. But there's lore behind something like Pepe. So could you have traded the boobies and got some X's? Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to trade the boobies too. I get it. I feel it. It's a hype meme, but it's a short-term trade. And that's the culture that's on Solana. That's why I actually use Axiom well. And I love Axiom because it's very fast spot. On Ethereum, okay, so on Ethereum meme cultures are different because you have people who are willing to hold for prolonged periods of time on several things. So, for example, I've been holding Brett for over a year. I did not sell it. That's crazy. You could never do that on Solana. Why didn't I sell it? And why is it still at 500 mil? Because there's lore there. And you have to know the blockchain cultures are different. Ethereum whales, if they see a meme and they know the lore and it's automatically deemed it has value, they are more likely to hold it all the way till the end of the cycle. That's why Pepe is still at multi-billions market cap. That's why Brett second is at 500 mil market cap and never went to zero, because those are Ethereum based memes. And when I talk about Brett, I'm talking about base Brett, which is on base, which is sitting on Ethereum. It just has cheaper gas fees. It's still an Ethereum based meme. So if you were to get into ETH memes, where should you look? I'm just warning you, ETH is not the same as Solana, where you're not going to sit there on like a pump.fun site and find new ETH memes every day. Maybe there could be a hot one on base because it's cheap. I think we will see that when ETH takes off. I think we will have a little pump.fun moment on base, but you're not going to see it on ETH, you see, because the ETH memes are expensive to trade because you're paying gas fees. So where you should start if you're looking for ETH memes, I would start by looking at the top memes on ETH, which number one is Pepe. SPX is also up there. I was not in SPX, but it was a great meme. It's performed very well. And Brett on base, and start to study those things and then see what communities have survived. ETH has not even moved the entire cycle, yet you have Pepe, Brett, and things like SPX are still surviving over a year later. Why is that? That means it's a very strong community and there's some kind of lore. So if you were looking into ETH memes, I would go look at the ones that are still surviving, see if there's still community there, and see if they have potential. And if you're looking for new ETH memes, I can't help you because the new ETH memes, the senders like Nero and all these things of crazy shit, they're only gonna come out when ETH starts to pump and run. That's when I can tell you, okay, we can start looking just like Solana for these brand new ETH memes because the Ethereum community is not just gonna deploy a bunch of shit until they feel fit, until they know there's liquidity there and there's money moving and there's time. So they're gonna wait to deploy. And in fact, I think when Nero came out, that was when ETH hit its high for the cycle, which was like around 4,000 or something for this specific cycle. That's when you had the senders on ETH, you see. So you should start looking for new ETH memes when ETH is pumping and close or about to pass its all-time high. That's where you will find the 100x senders on Ethereum. So hopefully that helps. So if you're looking to trade, I use for Ethereum memes because I'm not trading them quick like an Axiom bot. You could use Axiom, but I actually use Uniswap, the good old fashioned Uniswap for my ETH memes. And then still use the good old fashioned MetaMask and Uniswap wallets for those. So hopefully that information was helpful to the audience. Hopefully this is helpful to people. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a follow and the other speakers a follow, I would appreciate it. And if you could retweet the room, guys, I'd appreciate it. Okay, let's go to
25K, baby.
I did
You're there.
I hit it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yay! Thank you guys. Oh my god.
Are we talking 25K ETH? Did ETH just hit 25K?
25K. Thank you. That makes me so happy. Yo, I hosted space for over a year and never told anybody to follow me, which is kind of a good thing because the people who followed me got the bangers early. But go ahead, Wabi. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just saying. Someone said we hit 25K, so I thought that ETH hit 25K. Wouldn't that be
Oh
great
my god, you
if
could
ETH
follow me
hits?
again. I'd rug this space and I'd be like, oh, sorry, you never see me again, Wabi. This would be the last time we ever talk to each other on the internet.
No, I was gone for like an hour. I had to talk. I had to take a Discord call, so I missed a good portion of like um, Joe's discussion. I'm sure what was being discussed. Like, where are we at in the conversation
Dude,
right now?
go back after because it's recorded. It was so good because he was asking me a ton of questions on meme coins, and it was actually for people who don't know if they're like altcoin people or Bitcoin people. He asked me a lot of really good questions. I answered all of them, so it was actually really good. It was you missed like the best, a really good discussion. So you gotta go.
Yeah.
But
The reason why Joe is like that is because he's a lawyer and he like represents a lot of people in the space. And I also got him into SPX 6900 at like 15 mil. That was one of the few memes that I pushed outside of Andy and Pepe when they first came out. SPX 6900 is like the only one after those. And he wrote it all the way up until like almost a billion. And since then, like he's just had this like curiosity as to why do these things go up so much. And I think he just wants to find a lot of logic behind it. And sometimes in this market, it's really hard to put a price in logic because logic doesn't really exist in markets. It just doesn't. You can't put a price on virality. You just you just can't. And I remember earlier in the space you were talking about like meme cycles or like meme cycle seasons, and there was like a guy. He's like a trencher guy also, and he cut a piece of onion, right? And the onion was smiling, and then he took a picture, and you can see that like at the center, it looks like a smiling onion, like there's like a little smile, and he puts a tweet that says, "If this was if this was Q1 of 2024, this smiling onion would have gone to 500 million market cap on Solana, which is like super true. I mean, everything was getting sent in Q1 of last year. You had Popcat. I think Brett went crazy too in Q1. Pepe went crazy. AI went crazy. Whiff went crazy. Like, I think that was probably like the biggest part of this cycle that we've been in since FTX went to zero. It was Q1 of last year. Um, what do you think, Ragsy? Do you agree with that, or do you think like um, last Q4 was better than Q1 of last year?
It's okay. So I coined a lot of terms. So that's why I like clarify the terms I use. So I use one of the terms I use, and what you're referring to is what I call a meme rally, which is different than a market rally. So if you're in my Discord or you took my course, you know this. So and we get about, so last year I think we had about 4 or 5 solid meme rallies, more than we've ever had in history, because last bull cycle we had like 2 or 3. So there's definitely 4 or 5. So not to be confused with a market rally, because you can still have a meme rally when the market is not rallying. And when does that happen? Well, it could happen for a number of reasons. I'll give you an example. It could happen with a market rally. So when Solana was rallying and went to like $200, just boom, 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 Solana at 200, that was one rally where you had a lot of huge senders, I believe, like during the AI narrative era. But what else could spark a rally is even when Solana was down. I don't know if this is the correct example, but let's just pretend it is, for so you can follow me here. The peanut, the squirrel, was a breaking news story, and this poor squirrel died, and it went super, super viral to the point where Elon Musk and Trump were talking about. That sparked a meme rally. Even if the market was not rallying at the time, I'll have to go back and look. That is something that could spark a meme rally, even if the market's not rallying. So that's why you had, then here comes Fred. Don't forget about Fred the raccoon. And actually, Peanut was not even the first one. I believe it was Mudang. So you had breaking news with Mudang. I actually think it was Mudang. Mudang went super viral all over the internet. Everyone's going crazy. That started a rally, and the rally kept going because then the poor Peanut the squirrel passed away, to the point where the president's talking about it. Elon's right, and you had a crazy meme rally. That's why all the memes sent. Didn't matter. The price of Solana was irrelevant. So you can have a meme rally. Like if something was breaking news and went crazy viral right now, you would get a meme rally. You would get a meme rally, and then you'd have a bunch of memes on Solana all send together. And so that's what I call a meme rally. Now, we have not had a meme rally the entire year. We haven't had a meme rally since the top of Trump. The Trump fiasco and the Trump meta was the last real true rally that we had. So I do feel like we will get another meme rally, and I think it will be in Q4. I do think we're gonna get another one this year, and that's the time to be locked in, because when the market's rallying, or even when we were in a meme rally, and I think they will be simultaneously. Actually, when the market's rallying and you're in a meme rally, is only a window of time, and you can really hit a lot of 100x centers very quick, like a couple. Like you can, because there's just so many memes rallying, everyone has a chance to win something. So that's what I refer to a meme rally, not to be confused with a market rally, because essentially something happens where there's just one big meme sender, and that's what draws the attention back in, and that's why people start to trade the memes again, and they'll usually be derivatives or beta plays, right? I think we're going to see an Ethereum meme rally when ETH starts to run, and I think it's going to be led with Pepe. I mean, that's what I'm betting on. That's why I'm so bullish on Brett, Andy, Wolf, and other things related to Pepe, because I think that, but you will see a lot of huge runners, 100x runners on ETH when we're in that specific rally. So so I'm so tired. I think I answered your question, but I don't know. So that's the thing, is like you can still have a meme rally even if the market's not in a rally. And you have, that's why you have to kind of be paying attention to the news. You have to be kind of like, internet nomad and kind of knowing the word on the street, and then you kind of know we're about to get a rally, you could find a lot of big meme coin senders that way. And as I put it, front run the masses. I'm a front runner. Somebody mistook what I said earlier. Like, oh, so she front runs her Discord. Well, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes my Discord hits 50x's on shit I didn't even buy because I put things on watch list for them. And they are like, I'm not waiting for Agsy, fuck that. And they go buy it and they hit a 50x and I hit like a 3x. So it's like, I feel like the way I personally do things is very, very fair. But the whole point is you want to front run a runner, which they call a runner, is something like you are in Bucky, I know, right? That's a runner. So if you notice today, you saw a lot of Bucky derivatives and shit, because Bucky
What?
runner.
Bucky derivatives?
Yeah, you didn't see them? There's coming out like crazy because
You've got
Bucky's.
to be kidding me.
Yeah, but that's good for you. You don't understand. That's good. If there's derivatives, that means that increases the value and the lore of the first mover. That's a good thing. So like troll right now, troll's at 90. I know you're like, fuck these derivatives. Fuck all. I know. I feel you. I feel you. But it's actually a good thing. So troll right now, that's how I feel with Brett. Fuck these Brett derivatives. Fuck them all. Okay, so with Troll is at like 90 million or something, right? So there's a billion derivatives of Troll coming out. There's like Troll House, Troll as Bonk, Troll's dad, Troll's aunt, Troll's fucking dog that doesn't exist. Troll this, troll that, because there's derivatives because it's a hot meme. So that makes the it kind of like increases the value, in my opinion, of the leading meme, the runner. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if derivatives come out if the market cap's super low because there's a chance they could flip you. But I think your Bucky now it's at 26 mil. I don't think they're gonna flip that. So it's
Yeah.
so they're not gonna flip that. No way.
Yeah. It hit 35 mil on a wick. And the thing with like things launched on Bonk Fund and Pump Swap is that the people that launched, or rather they basically oversee the operation. They like support the ecosystem with clout. They help like with engagement, and some of the devs like buy back their own token. You don't really see that with Pump Swap. You just don't. And I think, Ragsy, if we take a look at what's happening now compared to last year, it's almost identical. After the August crash, after that bad jobs report data, you had things like Moodang and what was the other soul meme? Flog going going up, doing some numbers. And now you have the same thing. You have your two leaders, which is Troll and Bucky. And something really interesting that you were mentioning is that like a 4chan meta, and it all started with Pepe. So that's pretty interesting. Um, everyone knows Troll, right? And now there's a term, trade less, troll harder. And of course, we also have SPX 6900 that's been doing well since the bottom. And I'm kind of wondering, like, when are we gonna start seeing some of the stuff that we saw around this time last year with like the Murad list, right? Like, is there gonna be another Murad that comes out with a list and all that stuff and creates like a bunch of these crazy communities? And I would say probably not. You're just not gonna see that. Like with Pepe, Pepe was like the first token to come out where it created a community of people on spaces that were like super, super, super active, rating, replying, and all that stuff. Like, even if Polly's a piece of shit, like what he did with Pepe, like getting a bunch of people hyped up at the beginning, I know like he tried to flood Pepe and created derivatives and all that, but I'm just saying like with those initial spaces, people started doing that. They wanted to be heard. You had people that went from like full anon to semi anon, and they started speaking their thoughts. And it never happened again. You don't really see like crazy, crazy spaces communities like that. Like, sure, there are spaces, but like to that degree, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like
Oh,
thousands and thousands of people? No way. And now with Murad, you have the list, and now I kind of think it's going to be people like Donnie. I think it's going to be people like Donnie that explode now. You have your reasonable analysis, but you still understand the culture. If you look at Donnie's profile, it's a clean page. It's clean cut signal, and the stuff that he puts out there, you see all the replies, all the raids, the active communities, and he knows what he knows what he's putting out there. And when you hear his voice, you actually believe. And I understand Murad did do spaces and all of that, but it was really only for like a short period of time where everything was going up. And you look at things like Bucky, and just like the stuff that we've been talking about on Spaces, yeah, the market has like recovered, but most altcoins are bleeding against Ethereum, which is like rubbing even more salt on the wound. You had Bitcoin outperforming most things for 2 years, and now ETH is probably going to do the same for a couple of months until we actually go into alt season, where you have the others BTC or the others ETH pairs starting to go up. That's easy mode. That's easy mode. But right now it's like it's kind of like trends as we're talking about, and with each trend you always have a new type of content creator. And I just think like whoever's active now and actually like works for their bags and actually knows what they're talking about, gives a thesis and conviction, and not just like yelling in the mic saying F you higher and acting like a savage animal. I think there's going to be some cool stuff that comes out over the next few months. And I do think ETH is gonna have some cool stuff happen on it. If it even like just at the very minimum just gets above like 4,500, I think you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff on ETH that is is similar to what happened on Sol last year. And I said this when ETH was bottomed out. Like I said, hey, you're probably gonna see some stuff that happened on Sol happening on base, and you saw some AI stuff going crazy. Like Ray went from 5 mil all the way to 200 mil plus. You had Kita going to billions. You had some other stuff like Tibber going to almost 200 mil. Like you've had some absolute senders, and that's with ETH just simply outperforming BTC. So imagine when it gets into price discovery and then begins to cool out, and you have the broader market catch up to ETH. That's the real main event, you know. And I think people are just well, just a little bit too impatient because the cycle has been a bit different, but it still had some opportunities. But um, I saw this interview with Thread Guy. He interviewed Andrew Tate, and there's a part in the interview where they're talking about crypto, right? Like, how did you get into crypto? And he was actually pretty big on CT back when the pandemic was going on, and he got into like some argument with Gainsey or whatever. It was pretty funny, and he was discussing about like how crazy crypto can get, and if he would recommend crypto to a normie, right? And he started saying that there's no other um, market in the world that rewards not really doing anything. And he gave an example on how, like, just clicking a few buttons on a website in 2020 would print him like thousands and thousands of dollars a day just by putting in like 10K, right? You put like 10, 20 bands into some DeFi website, and you would print hand over fist while your token was going up. They had these things called food farms, right? This happened from May of 2020 all the way to August of 2020. And it was happening on Yearn Finance. So you would buy ETH and then some shitcoin, or just ETH and USDC, depending on what pairs you want to get. And then you would get like 10,000 APR. So not only are your tokens that are being pulled going up, the token that you're farming is also going up. And he was mentioning how he was farming on Pancake Swap when Pancake was like 50 cents, and Pancake went all the way to like almost $100. And we're not in that kind of environment where you just click a few buttons on a website and you print money hand over fist. But hey, right? We've had Mudang, we've had SPX, we've had Pepe, we've had some AI stuff. Now we have things on Bonk Fun. We have some AI stuff also coming back. RWA stuff might be a thing this time. And yeah, there's not as much opportunity that's super easy, but you know, if you actually put some work in, if you speak to the people that have more experience than you, and you get on these spaces and talk shop, you could have some edge. You could honestly have some edge. Like just by doing these spaces, like getting on spaces and speaking with people, I ran into Donnie, and you know through Donnie, I've gained a lot of knowledge really, and yeah, he found Bucky, and it's been a great trade, and I found Ray by being on CT, some guy that I became acquainted with after FTX went to zero. He's like, "Yo, Wabi, check this out. It looks really cool." I saw the website. Ray was at 5 mil. I saw that it was on base. The team had their liquidity locked, and it was a cool concept. So I aped. Um, you're one good space away from having the right contract address DM to you, or maybe one good space away from listening to people um, give alpha, if you consider what you're listening to alpha.
Yeah.
I really spoke a lot. I really talked a lot. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah. I've had Donnie on my spaces a ton. I found him, I believe, first. Like nobody knew who he was. He started coming on my space doing TA. He's great. We love Donnie in here. He's great. And yeah, very smart. I like to. That's the key. What you just said. I surround myself with like minded people. That's why I also like Max from Because Bitcoin. That's how I found you, Wabi, through because I was doing spaces with Max. He so spaces for like Andy and Wolf, and I would come in there and give my 2 cents. And I really personally like really like Max a lot, right? So that's how I found you. So I just try, and as far as markets go, I try and surround myself with people I like. And yeah, he's right. You can get a lot of information that way. One of the best secrets was my spaces that I hosted every year. Like all last year, I dropped. I just not a very huge. I'm not. I'm a decent size account, but I'm not huge. Gave so much freaking alpha on my spaces. Just people don't know about me because I'm not. I'm not like an aggressive tweeter. I'm not somebody who's like tweeting 100,000 times a day trying to increase my following. But I do spaces. I think a lot of people find me personally through my spaces. I'm more bigger on TikTok just because I feel like Twitter can be like a very toxic place. And you know, when I'm talking about crypto and stuff, I like to keep it like mostly about the markets because we're in the bull run here. It's serious shit. And so yeah, I've loved doing spaces with you, Wabi. But I thought what you were saying was interesting, like about Murad and stuff. You're like, nobody else is gonna come out with something. I haven't dropped my list yet. I did that deliberately. I have a list and I'm gonna drop it, but it's not. It has not come out yet. Might come out soon. That's why you need to follow Ragsy. But I have a thesis and stuff, and I didn't drop it yet. And the reason I didn't have it last year is because the winners were not in yet. I didn't believe so not to knock, you know, Murad, he can believe in whatever he wants, and he's had some very great calls like SPX, right, and Gig Chat and some others. But I did not completely agree with his list. Just being respectfully, I did not agree with some of the memes he chose. So I did not think, in my that's why I bid Solana memes because that's what the game was telling me to play. So I just play the game till it's over. If the market's telling me we're about to see a bunch of what he just said 300x altcoins, you bet your ass I'm going to be trading altcoins because that's where the money is. So I'm just somebody who's non-biased. I'm like a money maxi. Wherever I see the opportunity, that's where I'm going to go. And I think a lot of people should actually be more like me because if you're more like me, and you weren't so pissy last year, Solana, you would have made a way more fucking money. They would have though. If they would have just sucked it up and traded
Yep.
AI shitty meme coins with me, would have made more money.
Yeah, and those, looking back on it, like it's cool making money, but like when you actually look at back at like wallet history, it's like, damn, That is some nasty work. But so talking about like alts that were like Pepe and all that stuff, um, so far this cycle we've seen like dog memes, cat memes, but we've also seen some like frog memes, right? And outside of Pepe, I think the only frog that came out that actually like did well was Flog, and that was on Soul. I think Flog is like the first frog on Soul, and now you have Bucky, which is honestly catching a lot of mind share now. You're seeing some like Farcoin whales pile in, and for whatever reason, it's trading like an ETH token, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying, Ragsy? Like the way Bucky has been trading, it's like imagine a ticker that's on Sol but has like the price movement of of an ETH token or like a base token, right? It trades really cleanly. If anyone here has traded on Sol and also on base, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm thinking like if you take a look at number one 4chan memes, it's not really diluted. You just have Troll and Bucky. Um, and if you want to talk about like voices, there's not really a ton of big accounts outside of like me and Donnie that are pushing this thing super hard. And during Flog's like initial rally, it ran all the way to almost 100 million without like big accounts. It was only after it crossed 100 million where you started to see like Trader SC and like a lot of other accounts that had like 50K plus followers push it really hard. And I think what Pepe started was really good for the entire space. It kind of like brought belief back to altcoins as a whole, and I think like Bucky could really be a beneficiary of that because I mean the market obviously likes frog memes. You even had something called Hoppy that was on mainnet ETH, and that went to like 100 mil, I think, last summer. And then you also had something called Base Pepe that went to like almost 200 mil um last fall, I believe. And no, Hoppy actually went to 150. Wow. So the market obviously loves frog memes, but I think like the difference between something like a Bucky compared to something like a Pepe derivative like Hoppy is that it kind of comes from 4chan lore, and the only piece of 4chan lore that we've seen um, has been Pepe, really, and Troll. Now we have Troll, so I think there's an opportunity here to kind of do what the market has shown us over the last year and a half, where it's sort of like Pepe vibes. You know, that's what I'm kind of getting from Bucky. What do you think, Ragsy?
I mean, I'll tell you what I think. There's been a lot of 4chan memes actually, all over ETH, all over Solana. But why I have Bucky and I was early, my Discord is very happy with Bucky. They hit like a 70-100x on Bucky. So we love the if you're in my Discord or you're following me, we love it. But what I love more is I really am a fan of you and obviously Donnie. And I like that you are passionate about something. I've never seen you guys so passionate about something. And for me, I like to bid memes because I have my own theories and stuff. But occasionally, and it is rare, it is actually very rare with me, I like to bet on people. And, I really, respect, these two guys have done spaces with them so many times. I really respect them. And, and they're very passionate about this. And I really, I decided I was going to bet on them. And, that's my personal choice. I really do that. But the meme, to your point, I love the meme. I think it's great. And actually, my favorite, I have to tell Donnie next time I see him on Spaces, my favorite art piece, I don't know who is responsible, was the Bucky. He's got like the four little Bucky hose in the picture, and it said, Bucky likes to fucky. I loved it. I thought it was just so brilliant. I really did. I was like, this is like this is like a brilliant masterpiece of a post. I just thought it was great. And yeah, I think there's some value there because it is 4chan. I'm somebody who, is early to Pepe, big on Pepe verse stuff and 4chan stuff just because it's part of internet culture. So yeah, like I love the meme. I see your thesis, but overall, that over everything you just said, I'm somebody who sometimes like to bet on people that are passionate about something, and you're one of the only probably one of the only people I like. You and Donnie. So I couldn't fade. I couldn't fade something that you guys really, really liked and were passionate about. So it could have been the worst meme I've ever seen in my life, and I still would have bid it if you guys were passionate about it. But this one I don't think is the worst meme I've ever seen in my life. I like it. I like it's a frog. I like it's green. I like that it's 4chan. It's got a lot of stuff going. It's perfect time because you have the run up from Troll that's kind of creating this 4chan craze on Solana. So I'm still in it, and I'm going to continue to hold, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And then I found the you faded me, Wabi. Next time I told you I'm gonna wake
I
your ass up.
did.
Say 6 a.m. 6 a.m. punishment now. 5:30 a.m. I'm gonna call your fucking phone and be like, "Wake up, motherfucker! Time to ape." Better have your wallet ready. That's gonna be a punishment for fading my rage guy. Now I don't want to shill. I don't even want to shill rage guy too much. But I know like people are like, come on, man. I have the rage guy. I don't. I'm scared. I'm nervous because you see. Okay, they've already taken Bucky to that 20 mil market cap. So are all memes risky? Yeah. Could anything go to zero? Yeah. But they're already proven there's some lore there and some weight in some kind of community, right? The Rage guy is brand new, just came out today. I mean, my Discord hit like a 30 plus X something crazy on it. I like it, so I'm holding it. It could it go to zero maybe because I don't know who started it. I don't know any. I don't know the people. So in this particular instance, I love this meme. I've been waiting for this meme for so long. I just want it to do well, but I don't know that it will because I don't know the people who started it. I don't know what their intentions are, but it was something I wanted to gamble on, and it kind of goes with the troll Bucky. It's part of the 4chan universe. Like Rage Guy came out before Troll. They came out almost exactly the same time. So like
Yeah.
Troll and Rage Guy are like literally from the same 4chan era. And I like that so I really want this to do well, but just because I want it to do well doesn't mean it will. I don't know who started it. I think that's why you guys are killing it with Bucky, right? Because you got people who are passionate about it that are out and about, and you guys are doing an outstanding fucking job because to get something at 20 mil on Solana now is very hard to do. So congratulations, and yeah. So I agree with you, and I'm down to support. Like I said, like people and projects that I really like, but I see it there. I'm seeing the vision. I like the green. I like frogs. I like the four Shannon frogs. Always good. I think you got to cook, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. Let's see how high
Yeah.
can we go.
Troll was actually like around the same market cap that Bucky was at a little over a week ago, and it shows you how like fast the space moves. And now
Yeah.
Troll's at like 82 right now, and Bucky's at 27.
I think the reason why, and I don't know because I was not in the troll play. I also saw troll super early, like at 100K market cap, something insane. The reason I faded is because I had been rug pulled on so many trolls. There's been so many trolls, and I was like, well, why is this one gonna be the one? Because on Solana, it's been a million fucking trolls. There's been a million rage guys too. I've been rug pulled on rage guy definitely in the past, right? So I'm like, I don't know. And by the time I saw it, it went from like 100 to like 7 super fast. It pumped super fast. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait for a correction. And it never came down. I'm like, let's see how it does. April, May, June, it's still at 10 mil. I'm like, oh, it's holding. And I almost bid it there, and I probably should have. But I'm so happy for the troll community. I think that's why people went crazy for it because it's still alive months later. And there had been so many trolls, and they had all rugged. And I'm very happy. I know a lot of the guys who got into that super early because I found it like at 100K. You know, and I saw it at 100K, and I'm so happy for those people because you know people like they do this every day to hit something like that. Like that's their dream to hit. You know, I was early to Brett. I hit Brett. I hit Wolf OX67 as you know, like day one. So I've hit a lot of big senders this cycle. So when other people it works out for other people, I'm very happy for them because some people they do this every day and they're just trying to hit something good, and I think it's a great meme, and I can see why people are really holding that. I'm not personally in the play, so I feel like my opinion is very honest. I am in Bucky, so obviously my opinion's slightly biased. And my Discord's up on Bucky, where it is biased, but I really like that you can look at the chart. I mean, it's a great looking chart, and it's holding to get to 20 mil, and you even said it hit a god candle 35 on Solana right now. That's extremely hard to do. So awesome job, Wabi and Donnie, who's not here, who's always invited, by the way. He can come whenever he wants. But you guys are doing phenomenal. I hope you take it all the way. I think, yeah, I mean, I got it. So I'm a believer. Let's fucking go. I hope my freaking rage guy, please, if you are created rage guy and you're listening, please do not fucking rug rage guy. You can rug anything else you want. Just please, like, you don't understand. I have been waiting like the entire fucking like for like almost 2 years for rage guy. Can we have a rage guy? Is that okay? Is that okay, Solana? It keep rugging. I've been rugged on Rage Guy like 16 times, a ton, because I every time I saw Rage Guy, I bit it. Like, can we please keep this one? Is that okay? I don't know. We gotta ask the trenches. Can we not jeep the fucking meme to death? It would be very nice. I'd be very happy. But I don't know. You know, I don't know. It's still too early. We're still dwindling around 1 million. I don't know who started it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so those are my thoughts and feelings on what's going on in Solana. I think 4chan memes um, have like intrinsic lore. And I think, but more importantly, to Wabi's point, you need a community that actually cares about the meme. Troll has a community that cared about the meme. They wanted to see that be the sender, and they held it. And I know people held it all the way, and they didn't sell it. They still haven't sold it. You know, you had really big believers in the meme, and I think if you have a really strong community, you know, to me, that's what makes the meme. That's what makes it the one or the sender. You know, you had all these Pepes before the real Pepe. Well, why did that Pepe in 2023? Why was that the Pepe? The community was stronger than everybody else's. I mean, that's the answer. They had the right people in, and there was a lot of hard feelings. I'm sure Wabi was around back then, and there was other Pepes, and that specific Pepe OX69 passed them, and it was a very bloody time, and people were fighting on Twitter and wanted to threatening to kill each other and all kinds of stuff because they wanted their Pepe to win. But you see, that ended up being the winner because their community was stronger. They had the bigger ammo with the community. So it was destined to be the Pepe that took off. So once you kind of claim something, it's kind of yours. So once Troll held over 10 mil, it's kind of theirs. That's it. It's like a done deal. If it wasn't going to be the one, it would have rugged to zero. So I think that's why it finally made its way up, and I'm so happy for all the Troll holders. Congrats to all the Bucky holders too, by the way, because the thing is it's a beast, you know, beast mode shit. We'll see what happens with this one, but I'm nervous. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't talking so much about this other 4chan one because I don't know who started it. You know, I don't know anything. It's anonymous, and we'll see. But if it's not this one, and I'll tell you something crazy. If I get rugged to zero on this one, if another one comes out, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm just gonna keep buying it until one fucking sticks. I'm just gonna keep fucking buying the new derivs until it sticks. That's kind of my. Hey guys, if you're listening, I'm super tired, but I'll keep the space going for a little bit as long as you retweet the room. That's the deal. You got to retweet the room. You got to comment in the purple pill And you gotta follow me and the other speakers up here. I did Spaces for a freaking year. Gave so much alpha. I never told anybody to follow me. I forgot. Please follow me and please follow the other speakers as well. They're awesome. I mean, I only know half of them, to be honest. I know the top four. I actually don't know the bottom four, but so I can't vouch for them. But please retweet the room, comment, and then I don't know, Sarah, J-Rum, did you have anything you want to say?
I don't think J-Rum's up here, is he?
I think
J-Rum, are you up here?
I don't know. My thing's showing he's up here. Maybe he's not. Is it just me, you, and Wabi?
No,
Uh,
there's
I see
Oh,
like 5 other people here.
yeah,
uh,
there's
that
more. There's Master, Hamzi, Crypto Data, and then Wabi, but I think that's it.
yeah. Their Spaces is so messed up for me all the time.
I've
But
never used Axiom or any trading bot like
oh,
for Solana.
that,
The only thing that I've ever done is like use a Telegram bot for Hyperliquid. That's all I've ever done to snipe stuff. But is it like worth it? Is
I
it?
I like Axiom a lot. I will shill Axiom. I should actually put my link. I have my link in my Discord.
Whose link did you use, Ragsy?
Yours, I believe. I believe because I know I signed up one of my accounts. So Sarah's about to make bank because I used it and then I shared it with my Discord. But I do like that. I was using Photon. I don't want to diss Photon. I love Photon for pump fun. The problem was when the meta shifted, and this is why you also should follow me, audience, because I know a lot of stuff about this meme coin trenches shit. So the problem was the meta shifted from pump fund to bonk, and bonk has an entirely different system. So the first week when bonk took over was actually very rough for me because I was not finding runners. It was like very unlike me. So I was like, I gotta figure this out because I know it's gonna be bonk for a while, and I gotta figure this out. So I switched bots, I switched to Axiom, and I like Axiom because it shows you the bundles on the page. It says 30% bundled, and then it tells you if the dev sold or not, the bundles, which that's most important to me is the bundles, but it shows you if the dev sold or not, the top holders, everything very clean for me to see. So I was like, ooh, I didn't know this was on here, right? So I started using Axum because I can see the bundles, because usually it could be a good meme, but if it's bundled the shit, it has like 20% bundles or over, they're gonna rug it. It's going to rug. If it doesn't go to zero, they're gonna rug it low. They're gonna rug it to at least 15K, unless they're smart and the bundlers sell slowly, which is very rare. But if something's bundled to shit, if it's got 30% bundles and it's at 30K market cap, they're gonna rug pull it to zero. So you fade it. You fade. Or for me, I put it for my Discord. If I see a meme that's good, I'll put it on a watch list, and it's on a watch list and not a call because I see there's bundles there and they're going to dump it. It might be a good meme, but I know they're going to dump it first. And I'm thinking I could get a better price if it survives. So I'll put a lot of things on watch list for my Discord because the whole point is like once the bundles clip out, let's see if it survives. If it's surviving, it's a bid. So that's why I like Wabi. I like Axiom because it shows me very clearly the bundles. Because for me, at least, and other people will disagree with me and they'll say that's not important. For me, it's extremely important. So that's like the number one thing I look at is top holders, did the dev sell, and bundles, and it's right there all together on the Axiom page. So I started using Axiom and I really like it. Actually, I might like it better than Photon. And
Is
it bot.
is
Very
is this like a mobile app also, or is it just like desktop?
yeah. It's a I'll send it. I'll send it to you on Telegram. It's a it's both. You could use I am a desktop trader. I don't trade on my phone. That would drive me that would drive me crazy because I'm crazy. I'm like turbo trading, right? But yeah, you can use your phone. You can use your phone if you want. But I'm gonna send it to you. I really like that because you can see everything clear, and the bot's fast. I like it because it's fast. Like if you buy, it, boom, you bought it. If you guys are swapping on Jupiter, audience, you're doing it so wrong, baby. You are you are light years behind. That will take forever. You use like something like Axiom Bot, boom, you got the token right there. Boom, you can sell it right for it. Rugs, you can get out super quick. The bot's lightning fast, so that's one of the tricks of the trade for the fast tokens, at least the non holds. You want to be in and out of the token fast. You got to use a bot because if you're trying to use Jupiter or something and it's gonna rug, you're never gonna get out in time. You're gonna pay Jupiter fee and you're gonna lose your money. So I would say Axiom, and I've done a lot better on Bonk since I started using Axiom. I called 266x plays, which is insane in July. Exactly 266x on two different plays, and then yeah, and then I hit a big center today, and then we hit Bucky. So it's like I like the bot because it's fast, but that's just me. I'm gonna wrap up the spaces though in a couple minutes because I am tired as fuck. But I'll keep it. If you guys keep retweeting shit, I'll keep it open. I appreciate the follows. I don't know. So Sarah, do you have anything you wanted to say? Because you've used Axiom, right?
Yeah, I really like Axiom. I feel like it's a lot. I don't know. Like Photon's cool, but there's something about it that just I just like Axiom more. I really do. Um so I prefer to use that. But yeah. I'm sorry. I'm tired too.
I love how
Thanks. You sent me the ref link. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
use, dude, pass it on. I use Sarah's ref link, and then you use my ref link. That's how it goes. That's called being a good
So,
friend
so
acquaintance.
apparently, Axiom might have like an airdrop or something like that. They might have like a token coming out probably in like Q4. What do you guys think?
That would be dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was using Photon because there was you don't get referrals on Photon. Like they keep track of them, but you don't get an incentive. So there is like chatter, but there's no incentive. But you're gonna get a massive airdrop if you use Photon. So that's why I was using it. But honestly, the Axiom bot, I really like it for bonk. I really do.
You know what's crazy? There's like there's like always a huge airdrop before the market locally tops for a while. We saw that in March of 23 when Arbitrum dropped, when BTC was 30K, and that's when we locally topped for like 6 months. And then the Jupiter airdrop came, and we locally topped a little bit after that. The second Jupiter airdrop came in January. We topped after that. Hyperliquid airdrop came, market topped a couple of weeks after that. And I think the only thing people are looking forward to now is Axiom. So that's something that I'm paying attention to.
I just put it in the purple pill for people who want to use it, and I'll pin this to it's in the comments, and I'll pin it to the top. Um, but truthfully, like that's the thing with me. I don't like misleading people, right? Was using Photon. Truthfully, I really like this Axiom bot. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, he's bot. There's a million bots to choose from because it shows the bundles. And okay, but here's the thing. Here's a tip that I normally wouldn't give anyone who's in my Discord. There could be like only 5% bundles on a token that you find at 30K. But if the market cap is still under 50K, they can still bundle it. So that's also why if you're in my Discord, I'll put things on watch list because I might see something at 15K and be like, ooh, this could cook. And then I'll put it on watch list, and 3 seconds later, a sniper could still bundle it even if you buy it at 15K, and they can still rug it even though they came in after you, and it could go to 30 and they can just rug the project to 0. So sniper bundles is at low market caps. Even if you get in at the time it says the bundles are low or there's none, if it's low market cap, you're still running the risk of a sniper coming in and buying an obnoxious supply or bundling it in these micro bundles and fucking up the whole play, which I hate and drives me crazy, especially if the meme is really good. And but that can happen. But that's why, like, Axiom, because the second it might say like 5%, and then you buy it and you're like, wait, now it's saying 30% bundle. It just had 5. What happened? That means somebody bundled it after you bought it because you bought it at such a low market cap. So that's why I'm sitting there literally watching the screen of this bot because it's telling me what's happening in real time. And that's when, Wabi, I sent you the rage guy. I forget when it was holding a floor because the bundles were out. I'm like, oh, now it's safe. Now I feel comfortable sending this to somebody I actually like because the bundles are out. And it's at 200K. There's no way they could have. There's no way they could have bundled it to some degree at that market cap. So I felt very confident it was going to go up from there. So like you can make really good, better decisions, even sharing meme plays if you're watching if the dev sold the bundles, and then if you're seeing who the top holders are, it has a better chance of going up if those are all clean. The problem people get rug pulled, they're not watching that. Somebody could bundle your token even if you bought it low, and they fuck up the whole play, and the whole play's cooked, and they ruin the cook, and it's annoying, and you get mad, and we throw our keyboards and punch our computer screens and what do gamer boys do? And throw our fucking controllers. Okay, so don't be ruining the cooks. You dirt.
I've never done that. Like getting angry at a game, and just like harming things that I bought with my own money.